To lose fat, should you do as much cardio as possible? Will cardio burn away muscle? By the end of today's video, you will walk away with everything you need to know about doing cardio. You'll also learn how it can be optimized for yourself when you're trying to achieve fat loss. That way you don't have to second guess yourself or worry that you are doing the wrong thing when you are trying to reduce body fat levels. Alongside all of that, I'll give you my best cardio exercises to do. So with all that being said, guys, welcome to the channel. It's Harry Chadwick, this is Action Makes More, and let's get straight into today's video. Yes guys, so for more great content on the, oh hell, doorbell just went. So guys, yes, for more great content on fitness and what exercises are best to do in each individual muscle group, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified whenever I upload a video on a Friday at 6 PM. Let's get straight into it then, guys. So as you probably know, my name is Harry Chadwick. I've been training now since the age of 17-ish. However, only recently, about 18 months or so ago, I decided to train properly. The reason for this is because I wasn't seeing real results, and now I've decided to knuckle down, figure out and do my research on the fitness industry and figure out exactly why I wasn't getting the results I wanted to get. Using the principles I discuss in these videos, I've now been able to transform my body in the last 18 months and gain over 20 pounds of muscle. The last thing I want is for you guys to think that I'm showing off and trying to show you what I can do. I want you guys to know that it is possible. When you start to understand, guys, implement it because it works. I'm also now training to be a personal trainer so I can start training all of you guys in the near future. If you guys have Instagram and you want to hit me up and ask me any sort of questions, feel free to. I will leave my Instagram, I believe it is up there. If it's not up there, it's probably up there. I will also link my Instagram down below in the description, and it's also on my YouTube homepage. But with all that out of the way, guys, let's get straight into today's video. The first thing that every single one of you guys need to understand when it comes to weight gain and weight loss, it is all about energy balance. Calories in and calories out. A lot of people will argue that, but simply if you have a maintenance level and you eat over that maintenance level, you're going to gain weight. If you eat under it consistently, you're going to lose weight. If you eat at it, you're going to maintain your weight. That is simple science, and it is very much so proven. So guys, moving on from that, the big question is, do you need to do as much cardio as possible in order to lose fat? No is the simple answer. No, you do not need to do as much cardio as possible to lose fat. Think of cardio as a tool. I'm going to use a little metaphor here, so hold on and bear with me on this one. I want to try and make it a little bit easier to understand for anyone who doesn't really understand it. If you think about a car, it's got to travel from point A to point B. If the car is absolutely fine and nothing's in your way, the car is going to get there. However, if you add nitrous to that car, you know, like Need for Speed shit, all that sort of thing. If you add nitrous to the car and use that as a tool, maybe 3 times, 3 bursts, it's going to get there faster. A consistent calorie deficit is going to get you from point A to point B. Resistance training is going to aid that. On top of that, cardio is your nitrous. Use it as a tool. I would personally use it towards the end of the cut. You can implement cardio as your nitrous every time you see fat loss slow down. Ultimately, it comes down to the fact that cardio will speed up fat loss. So your maintenance calories are 2,700. You're in a deficit of 500 calories, so you're at 2,200. If you do cardio on that day, you're probably going to reduce, depending on what cardio you're doing, your deficit even more to 1,900. All it does is increase that deficit and makes your weight loss journey a little bit more faster. As a result, you will lose weight. The key here is weight. If you are trying to do cardio when you are cutting and it is just cardio with no resistance training, you will lose weight. And the key is that as you want to be losing fat. Weight is bodily tissue. That includes lean muscle mass and fat. So in order to transform yourself from not losing weight to just simply losing fat, you've got to make sure you maintain consistent resistance training. A high protein and carb diet will aid this process a lot as well. As with resistance training, your muscles are going to be telling your body that they want to stick around even though you're in a calorie deficit, and therefore when eventually you cut down, you're going to have lean muscle there that will show through, giving you the so-called desired physique. Basically, just cardio and a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. Cardio, a consistent calorie deficit, and resistance training, it's a whole new ball game. You're going to enjoy it more, you're going to have a lot better results, and overall it's the more efficient way to go about it. The first cardio exercise that I want to throw out there today, guys, is one of my absolute favourites. It's my go-to, always has been, and it still is, and that is deck of cards. If you are not sure what deck of cards is, on screen now should be a little tutorial of what it is on the app. It is basically a deck of 4 cards. Each card has a different exercise on it of your choice. You will then start the circuit and be given a certain amount of reps you got to do for that circuit. From there, you keep going until it is over. It usually takes around about 20 to 25, 30 minutes. It is very intense, and that is why I would categorise it as HIIT training. It's a great cardio choice to do when you're on a court. However, it does have its cons. Because it is HIIT, it is very taxing on your central nervous system, which means in normal terms you will be absolutely knackered after it, and you may even be for a couple of days after. So you want to make sure this is planned in maybe once or twice a week and around your resistance training. Personally, I used to do this maybe once or twice a week, but now I kind of substitute it for LISS, which is low intensity steady state cardio. If I were to use this heavily, I would do it on the last week of my cut and implement it maybe almost every day alongside my resistance training, depending on how I'm feeling and where my calories are at. Guys, comment down below, yes or no, are you currently doing cardio, whether you are in a deficit or a surplus or just maintaining? Are you currently doing cardio? Let me know down in the comments, just with a simple yes or no. If you simply decide to ignore this part of the video, that's hostile. The second cardio exercise I very much so enjoy doing, and by the way, these are down to personal preference, because at the end of the day it doesn't really matter what cardio you do, because every bit of cardio is going to burn calories one way or another. Moving on, we have the bike or walking. This is something I very much so enjoy doing. It's low intensity steady state cardio. It will still burn calories, and it's done over a longer period of time with a lot less intensity. The reason I enjoy walking and cycling so much, guys, is because throughout the time you're doing it, which for me is about 40 minutes or so of low intensity work, I can listen to a podcast, I can listen to an audio book, you know, gain more knowledge on a certain subject that you don't feel like you know enough on. And with this, you're still burning calories, you just don't feel it as taxing. A lot of people shy away from this sort of thing because they feel like it's not going to make a difference, but I'm telling you right now, done consistently and over a period of time, it will make a difference. Common mistakes that people make when it comes to doing cardio is thinking that when you do more cardio, you can eat more food. Yes, technically that is true. However, it promotes a very bad relationship with food in the long term. You're going to start thinking that you can eat more than you actually can. It will lead to cravings. Measuring the amount of calories you actually burn can be and is pretty inaccurate. And eventually you will just lead to binging and that sort of thing. I've been down there myself, guys. I used to think that if I burn 500 calories, I can eat an extra 500 calories. And doing that almost every week turned into almost every couple of days, 3 days, and then it was every day. And before I knew it, I was knackered. I didn't have any resistance training going because I was too focused on cardio. It's just a bad relationship, guys. I do not recommend. So the solution? For me, I don't really care how many calories I burn. I aim for a certain target, but I don't necessarily care, if you know what I mean, because I'm just happy to be doing the cardio and creating more of a deficit for any foods that may be inaccurately tracked. Therefore, you stick to your calorie limit for the day or the week, and you don't have to worry about how much cardio you've done in order to burn off that excess calorie intake. Low intensity cardio is great for a long term cut because, as I say, it's a lot less taxing on your body. If you are doing HIIT training, you know, 3-4 times a week, eventually, you know, you can probably keep it up for about 2 weeks, but then whether you like it or not, your resistance training is going to take a hit. You're going to deplete your glycogen stores way too much, and due to that, you're simply just going to have a worse workout. Eventually, whether you like it or not, your workout will start to suffer and you will feel a lot more fatigued within your workouts. The last exercise we are moving on to today is sprints. Oh, how I love my sprints. A lot of people absolutely hate sprints, and I understand why, because they are hard to do. However, as I say, this is all my personalised cardio exercises that I do. There's no reason as to why I like doing sprint. It's just because when I like to do HIIT training, it's done quick and fast, and sprint is something I enjoy doing because when you get to that threshold of you can't go any faster for any longer, I like to push myself through that, as it just gives me that little bit of hell yeah feeling, you know what I mean. But on another level, guys, like seriously, it's actually near enough the same as deck of cards. So obviously it's a completely different exercise, you're going to burn different amounts of calories, but the principles are still in place. It's going to be very taxing on your body, and doing this 3 or 4 times a week or 2 to 3 times a week is going to really affect your resistance training, which is very important when on a cut. Again, guys, I want to reiterate that cardio is a tool. It should not be done every single day of the week. It should not take over resistance training, but it should be used as a tool to speed up fat loss when maybe you hit a plateau. Say you're on a calorie deficit, you're not currently doing much cardio, you're doing weight training 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, and you realise that, you know, you don't particularly want to lower your calories anymore, but you hit a plateau, then you can start implementing LISS or HIIT once a week. Cardio is a tool to increase that deficit even more. So then, next scene. So then, guys, now you know how to use cardio and implement it properly alongside your training and nutrition. I saw something on Instagram the other day, which I will put on screen now. If there was a hierarchy of fat loss, it would go as follows. The king is nutrition, the queen is resistance training, and the prince is cardio. Guys, as I say, cardio is nothing but a tool when it comes to fat loss. It has many benefits to your cardiovascular health, so I'd even recommend doing cardio when you are in a surplus. However, it is not essential. You do not need to absolutely nail the cardio. You just need to make sure that your nutrition is on point, and you probably get through a fat loss stage without doing any cardio. However, guys, now you know the different types of cardio, my favourite cardio exercises to do. What happens when you don't see progress? As I said earlier at the start of the video, DM me, guys. I'm training to be a personal trainer, and over the last 6 to 7 months or so during lockdown, I have absolutely nailed into all sorts of different research, you know, information, audiobooks, podcasts. I'm near enough at the end on my personal training course. DM me on Instagram with any problems, queries, or whichever with your current nutrition, or you just want me to be a bit more specific within these videos. Any feedback, as always, is very much so appreciated. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave a little like on the video if it provided some sort of value and you enjoyed it. Obviously, as I say, I upload videos every single Friday at 6 PM, so I'll see you guys next week. I hope you have an absolutely sick weekend. Until then though, guys, peace.